It's March 4th, 2015, and this is your Fortean Slip news. Yeehaw!
In our first story from Cron.com, my favorite, Marilyn Manson says a ghost lives in his new house.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah. Marilyn Manson is thrilled with his new Hollywood home because it's haunted. The shock rocker bought the new pad, which is next door to one of his pal, Johnny Depp's homes, just before he started. Bunch of what kind of neighborhood is that? Fucking Marilyn Manson and Johnny Depp.
It's fucking California.
Just before he started work on his new album, The Pale Emperor, and he admits his time there has been marked by slamming doors and things that go bump in the night. He tells Revolver, doors slam behind me a lot, and I'm always hearing people walking up and down the stairs.
I'm usually the one slamming them.
But I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Manson has since discovered a silent film actress from the 1920s died in the place. He adds, I don't want to say her name because she'll probably try to come out and attack me one night.
Jesus.
Wait, he says I'm not afraid of no ghosts, but he won't say her name because he's afraid she'll attack him.
No, see, there was a double negative there, Steve. He tricked you.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Oh, you're right. So that means he is. I got it. See, I know what double negatives are. And our next story from ScienceTimes.com. Neuroscientists like to use the term mental time travel when talking about recollection of memories which are vivid and detail-oriented about the time and place of original experience. By analyzing the brain activity of individuals performing simple memory recollection tasks, a team of neuroscientists from the Vanderbilt University have been able to gain new insights into how our brain processes these elaborate memories. The researchers found a substantial improvement in the ability to predict the order in which the participants recalled it from. It's another one of those news readings. I can't help it. In which the participants recalled information which they had recently studied by studying the activity patterns in a specific region of the brain. Medial temporal lobe is a part of the brain which plays a central role in memory processing. However, clear insights into how this region actually controls the fidelity of an individual memory is still not known. It is obvious that not all memories are recalled equally. At one end of the extreme are high fidelity memories. I have a high fidelity stereo. Is that the same thing?
No.
Oh. Or moments of mental time travel. And at the other extreme are memories which are recollected in isolation or without a lot of accompanying details. To study how the medial temporal lobe controls memory processing, the scientists have developed a model of its internal structures. They have found that the anterior of
They found
MTL,
that they need an IBM computer.
Oh, I should have done that story tonight. Oh, I'll have to. Yeah, that was a good one. You know what a fleshlight is, right, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
They just made this attachment you can put on your iPad.
Oh, I saw it. Don't think I didn't catch that one.
I meant to, do that for tonight's news, and I forgot about it until you
just did.
Yes. So you can have sex with your iPad now.
That's just wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this model was tested on 20 participants between 18 and 35 years of age. The individuals were given a list of 24 items and asked to decide if they were big or small, inanimate or inanimate, and so on. I'm still thinking about the fleshlight.
Of course you are.
How do we go from mental time travel to fleshlight?
You're the one that fucking went and took the segue, son. Not me.
I have no idea. After a short period of time,
I made a John Teeter reference. You started talking about jerking off in your iPad.
I don't even have an iPad, but I think I'm going to have to buy one. Anyway, interestingly, when a participant's brain activity indicated that they were experiencing the time travel type of recollection, the response was likely to be the next item on the list on a serial basis. However, when the brain scan indicated the object was an isolated recollection, the next object the person recalled could come from anywhere on the list. According to Sean Paulin, assistant professor of psychology of Vanderbilt University, these kinds of studies are very important to develop treatments for patients suffering from diseases like Alzheimer's and epilepsy, which have devastating effects on one's memory.
Good times.
Yeah.
Great oldies.
And fleshlights.
And fleshlights.
From the mirror.co.
Alzheimer's like a really horrible disease.
Yes,
in case anyone doesn't know, when I was a teenager, I worked at a nursing home in the kitchen. Oh, excuse me. And one of my jobs was to clean up the dining room of the Alzheimer's ward. And in the kitchen, you were allowed to speak to residents, but you weren't allowed to, do anything. You weren't allowed to grab them or, do anything to stop them from doing anything or anything like that. So one night I was up cleaning up the dining room up there, and this poor woman had gotten left behind by the nursing staff. And she was eating food out of the garbage. And I wasn't even allowed to go over and grab her by the hand and try to lead her away or anything like that and bring her back. I had to try to go get someone on the nursing staff to fucking come back and get her. And for anyone who doesn't know, it's just a fucking horrible disease. And any research into that to fix that for people, I'm all about that.
Absolutely. I have relatives that have Alzheimer's, and it's just not fun. It's a horrible thing.
Yeah, it takes normal people and just it can do horrible things to them.
Mm-hmm. Now, how am I going to read the next story after that touching?
I don't know. You're the newsman.
I'll do it anyway. From the mirror.co.uk, British UFO encounter gave me heart failure, says U.S. airman after military chiefs agreed to pay his medical bills. The U.S. Veterans Association pays out medical treatment of a man hit by heart problems he blames on the Suffolk UFO encounter. An American airman has won a legal bid to force military health chiefs to pay for the treatment of an illness allegedly caused by a UFO encountered in Suffolk. Airman First Class John Burroughs was involved in an incident in Rendlesham Forest in December 1980, which has become known as Britain's Roswell. He was exposed to huge doses of radiation whilst investigating a mysterious craft and claimed this left him in need of life-saving heart surgery. After decades of being stonewalled, he has finally persuaded the U.S. Veterans Association, I think it's actually Veterans Affairs, but this is a UK paper, to pay for his treatment. His lawyer hailed the dramatic legal about-turn as a de facto admission that UFOs exist and can cause physical injury. Burroughs told Mirror Online, "I was not looking for anyone to believe me. All I have been concerned about was getting care for my illness. That was all that mattered." The Rendlesham Forest incident is one of the great unsolved UFO encounters of the 20th century. Several members of the United States Air Force witnessed a strange craft flying overhead on 3 consecutive nights. Burroughs and a colleague, Jim Peniston, ventured from their base to inspect the UFO at close range, with Peniston describing a strange silver craft covered in symbols which resembled hieroglyphics. Shortly afterwards, Burroughs fell ill with symptoms resembling radiation exposure. But the real problem started in 2011 when doctors were astonished after I'm going to pronounce this wrong, mitral valve? Is that how you say that?
I think you got that right there, son. Pat yourself on the back.
Shit.
Pat yourself on the back. All right.
I got one right. Well, it's spelled M-I-T-H-R-A-L, so I wasn't sure. Anyway, it failed. Something which usually happens to men much older than 50 years old, like Burroughs. I couldn't work, and I was going downhill fast, he continued. Neither Burroughs nor his doctor were able to access his medical records, which were classified. Burroughs even claimed the Air Force denied he was employed with them at the time of the UFO incident. He asked for the help of presidential candidate Senator John McCain, who was also unable to get his hands on all the medical records. Finally, Burroughs'
Or
legal
able
team
to put his
found
hands above his head.
Finally, Burroughs' legal team found 2 documents from the British Ministry of Defense which showed high levels of radiation were detected at the site where he encountered the mystery UFO. The U.S. Veterans Affairs and Department of Defense then agreed to pay for his treatment. I'm still trying to work out what I saw, Burroughs said. I think this is a phenomenon that the government is aware of, but are still trying to work out exactly what it is. We had a very weird experience. There is clearly something strange going on. Burroughs' lawyer said the ruling was effectively an admission that UFOs are, in fact, real.
Bum, bum, bum.
And that, Chris, is the Fortean Slip news.
Wow.
And I won't talk over the music this time.
As always, riveting.